Okay, so the sex was great, and so was the trip to Jamaica. When we came home, I talked about owning a vacation home, either in Jamaica or the Virgin Islands. That one conversation created a mix of business with pleasure. Terrence's investment firm was going great, and according to him, he brought on a guy to help him with work so that he wasn't swamped with scouting our different properties here and in Jamaica. I heard a lot about him, but any time I went to the office, I never saw him. One day, Terrence asked about me cooking dinner for a few guests, and of course I didn't mind. It was a small, intimate gathering for his team. The way Terrence led his team was a lot how you would build a family or a community. He always had ideas and ways to show his appreciation towards them and their help with the company. I honestly admired that about him. So, the day for the dinner came quick, and I spent the day or so preparing for it. I had meats marinating in the refrigerator and ready to cook for our gathering. If you know anything about Caribbean culture, then you know you must marinate your meat. I decided to serve rice and peas, curried goat and escovitch fish, vegetables, and of course, fried dumplings. I was still in the kitchen putting the food in serving dishes when Terrence came in with the guy who partnered with him. Terry introduced him as James, but the entire introduction was strange. It wasn't awkward in the sense of meeting James, but it was awkward the choice of words and emphasis on the words that Terrence used. Babe, this is James. James, this is wifey. It was something about that emphasis on the word this that did not sit well with me, but I'm a quick thinker. I smiled quickly as to not give away noticing anything, and shook James's hand and did all the pleasantries that were necessary. Of course, the emphasis on that one word could have meant that Terrence talked about me a lot, and now James could put a face to the name or person he's heard so much about. Yet I knew deep down that was not the case. The entire night I was paying attention to things I probably wasn't noticing before, or never got a chance to notice before. Like how Terrence's secretary sat on the other side of him as he sat at the head of the table and I on the other side. I smiled, laughed, joked, and watched. The funny thing about me watching everyone's behavior, I noticed James watching me. He watched me as if he knew that I had caught on to whatever Terrence had going on. The night ended, and Terrence walked everyone out to their vehicles, and I began to clean up and mentally plan. See, with a man who is a liar, you can't just ask questions, and they confess. You have to have proof for some of them, and even then, a lot of them are trained to die with the lie. Although I played it cool on the outside the entire night, I was pissed. One thing I can't stand is for someone to play with my intelligence. The other thing is, if I told you something that was done to me that hurt me, it is not the green light for you to try it. In fact, it's the red light to remind you not to go there. When Terrence came in, the kitchen was close to being cleaned and I had to make sure to leave. I gave the excuse of being tired and wanting to get rest because I needed to compile some files for Monday. It was believable because I should be tired from what I did all day, and I usually get work together on Sundays for Monday. What I really was doing was giving Terrence room to continue moving the way he would normally, because I had some research of my own to do, and it wasn't for the company I worked for. Remember when I said some of the people who came from the hood were smart enough not to get caught? Well, I was describing me and a couple of my partners. It was 3 of us, and I was the girl. We all had our individual strengths, but we were like a super team together. We helped run a few businesses. For a guy we knew that worked in pharmaceuticals, the street division. We were nerdy and corporate by day and goonish by night.